The second phase of the Cold War was from 1949 to 1953, or we call the period from 1949 to 53 as the second phase of Cold War. This period was also obviously marked by the traditional rivalry between USA and USSR. However, the major events that we can see in this period are the Korean War and the atomic explosion by USSR. These two were the most prominent events in this period. Slight movements of cooperation were also observed in this period, like the lifting of Berlin blockade, but these minor movements of cooperation could not end the rivalry between USA and USSR. This period is witnessed with the continuation of America's policy and military and economic aid against USSR. During this phase, US concluded a security treaty with Australia and New Zealand and a peace treaty with Japan in 1951. And this period is marked by the Korean War. During the Moscow Conference that was held in December 1945, the ministers of Russia, America, and Britain had agreed to form a joint commission, and that commission was to be comprising of representatives of US-backed regime of South Korea and USSR-backed North Korea. Majority of the Koreans were in favor of independence, and Russia had given a proposal that Russia proposed to hold talks with those groups who accepted the mandate, but US opposed that. A joint commission of USA and USSR formed in March 1946 could not succeed, and lastly the Korean issue was referred to the UN. And UN was trying to resolve this issue, but in June 1950 North Korea suddenly attacked South Korea, and the hot war started between both sides of the Korea, and the war continued till July 1953. In July 1953 the war was closed through an armistice. However, US and USSR army was stationed on both sides, and America launched an intensive program against USSR, and she spent billions or millions of dollars just to malign USSR in this period. And USSR exploded atomic bomb and become a nuclear power. With this, the nuclear monopoly of USA came to an end. Despite the signing of armistice, the armies were standing on both sides in the Korea, and USSR had exploded the atomic bomb. During this phase, both parties played a game of power politics, or we can call this entire period as the game of power politics period. And during this phase, both parties play the game of power politics with a vengeance, and both try to curtail the influence of adversaries and stop its presumed efforts to conquer the world. During this period, there were moments of cooperation as well, like lifting of Berlin blockade, but this act of cooperation could not weaken the rivalry between USA and USSR. Thank you for joining. Take care. Goodbye.